Kensington Palace has released a new photo of the late Queen with her grandkids and her great-grandkids on what would have been her 97th birthday. The snap was taken by the Princess of Wales at Balmoral last summer. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but at that time, did Meghan not take the kids to meet the Queen last summer for the Jubilee? The Sugars kept on talking about what the Queen gave Harry and Meghan, their own procession. Well, how about this gift? Or maybe Meghan was too busy with Elizabeth's birthday party down the street. Or maybe she had postpartum baby brain and she forgot there was a photo appointment with the Queen. Perhaps the kids are not real. Or maybe because Catherine was the photographer, Meghan refused to show up with the children. Perhaps it was just too public for Meghan and she couldn't stand the thought that she wouldn't have control of the image. Perhaps it does not fit in with how Meghan is keeping her kids away from everybody. Who really knows? But I doubt the kids were not invited. I hope that their children, if they're real, are not going to hold a grudge and publicly bash them for not giving them the opportunity to enjoy a relationship with their extended family on both sides. Both sides of the family are important. Kids need to know where they came from. But anyway, it's a gorgeous photo that was taken by the gorgeous Princess of Wales, but 4 of Her Majesty's great-grandkids are missing. The Sussex children, Archie and Lilibet, and then also Princess Eugenie's son, August, and Princess Beatrice's baby daughter, Sienna. I think you can see a photo of Princess Beatrice's husband with Sienna in the background, though. I feel bad for the Sussex kids if they're real. They are missing out on so much as they're growing up, and it has to be difficult growing up knowing that you have a family that you don't actually have a chance to get to know. I think it was a genius move to post this photo on Her Majesty the late Queen's birthday. There are many ways to skin a cat after all, and I think Kensington Palace hit the nail on the head with this one. It's gonna hurt the Montecito duo for a very long time, and in such a painful way too. How could they possibly explain to the children that they're out of the royal family because their parents are so greedy and so evil? I mean, can you imagine denying your children the right to spend time with their family members who just so happen to be royalty, to spend time with such a remarkable woman as the late Queen and Prince Philip too when he was still living? Let's not forget about the current king and Camilla, who seems like a great time, not to mention all those cousins who I'm sure they would have a ball playing with. Can you imagine denying them the opportunity to spend time at a 20,000-acre estate with horseback riding and fishing and running through the fields, playing in streams, swimming with cousins, hanging out with aunts and uncles, people like Princess Anne and Zara and Mike? Who wouldn't want their kids to get to know a family that has such cultural and historical significance? I admit, as a history lover and with a son who is a history lover too, I would have loved to take a look at the historical archives with the Queen and Sophie. What a dream come true. How dare they deny those kids the right to spend time at important events like Trooping the Color and the Jubilees? What kind of idiots give up these opportunities for themselves and most importantly, for their kids so that they can grift with people like Tyler Perry and Nacho in California? Now, at the time, the newspaper headline said stuff like, "The Queen has invited Harry and Meghan to Balmoral with their children," and many people were complaining about how the palace looks like such a doormat inviting the two of them when they have behaved so poorly, but Harry and Meghan never even showed up. Well, now the public announcement of the invitation coming from the palace looks so wise. Back then, they already knew that the late Queen was coming to the end, including Harry and Meghan. Only the public did not realize that she was so ill. And now after she has passed away, this crazy snub of her invitation seems a lot more unnecessary and a lot more cruel. Meanwhile, the Queen really stuck to her guns. She stuck to her statement that they are her beloved family members, and she did everything to prove that. I don't remember exactly where I read it, but if I remember correctly, the entire family spent a lot more time at Balmoral over the summer. They were making sure the grand and the great-grandchildren could spend as much time as possible with Her Majesty the late Queen. Except, of course, for the two invisibles who were kept far away thanks to their parents' feelings of resentment and spite. The more we find out about Harry and Meghan, I'm thinking about refusing access to the grandchildren, calling people up, screaming and swearing, demanding money, the more it's obvious that they are elder abusers. Thank goodness they didn't have any real access to Her late Majesty the Queen, because she was surrounded by loving family members right until the very end. The way Harry and Meghan treated both her and Prince Philip, though, in their last years of life makes me so upset. You know your grandparents are not getting any younger and that they are coming to the end of their lives. So you decide to throw a years-long public hissy fit? How dare they? I had grandparents who passed, and you know what? The idea of behaving like that even a little bit makes me sick. I would give anything for the chance to be able to spend just a little bit more time with them, and the fact that Harry and Meghan refused to is absolutely appalling. One commenter weighed in, saying, and it would have taken some time for a newcomer marrying into a family to bed in and know their way among the members. She only knew Harry for less than a year before she marries him, and chose to leave just over a year after that. I can't imagine that adjusting and welcoming a newcomer into the family was any easier for her in-laws either. Instead, they moan and complain in public over dumb shit. She and her dumb husband had no sense of anything in the 3 years they were there. Not one single thing. As if they were the first people ever to adjust to a new familial environment. Just thinking about it and then irritates the hell out of me. I don't believe the Harkles intended to be working royals for the long term. They hustled and wanted to work the system long enough to build credentials, secure more contacts, etc. The Harkles would have been living overseas hustling after 5 years or so. Something happened to cause the Queen to fire Meghan, putting her on a plane to Canada. And then the Sandringham Summit happened. He was told Meghan was permanently a working royal, and Harry was given a choice. Harry chose to leave. Harry also chose to believe he was entitled to the same perks as his brother. Here are all the facts. Death waits for no one, not even Harry. How can he expect anyone to feel empathy towards a grown man who was in Europe but refused to visit his grandmother during her last month? Ultimately, he chose not to attend the family vacation, and one day his children will ask, why were we not in those photos with our grandmother, the Queen? Harry and Meghan will probably blame it on racism, but eventually those red-haired and blue-eyed grandchildren will realize that it was because their bitter mother and weak drug-using father chose not to attend. And a royal fan said, my heart goes out to Her Majesty, even though she has now passed to beautiful pastures new and is reunited with her adored Philip. My anger is equally matched with Harold and Rachel. Harry was fully informed as to the Queen's medical condition and what she was suffering with. He also knew weeks and days in advance that her days of life were few in number. When they were in the UK for that vomit-inducing me, myself, and I monologue speech of Meghan's in Manchester, and their other 2 appointments, Harry was fully aware his supposedly beloved granny was lying on her deathbed, and they had been invited to Balmoral that week to visit, but no. Their selfish wants came first, and they declined the gracious, under the circumstances, invitation to instead have their fun out on the town indulgences. We know how Harry takes his pleasure, don't we? No secrets there. I think this is unforgivable behavior. He has zero right to be a member of this family, royal or not. I sincerely hope that after the occasion of King Charles's coronation, all apron strings should be severed, with a royal sword. All titles were stripped too, names were withdrawn from the royal website, and the truth about the Casper children was revealed. It's far past time we UK taxpayers have our rights and requests respected and acted upon. Harry, I for one don't want you back on England's pleasant pastures scene. What do you think of the photo of the late Queen with her great-grandchildren, excluding Archie and Lily? Let us know your thoughts below in the comments section. We hope you have found this video helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this newsletter, and we'll be back to see you in the next videos. Bye-bye now.